I have been able to organize myself as an entrepreneur to kind of, I guess, not to have success, but, well, I guess in long term it becomes success, but just to be able to have a focused mind and a clear space, to be able to do everything that you want to be able to do. So I guess the biggest question that I get asked as an entrepreneur is, what kind of tracker do you use? How do you keep everything so balanced and organized in your life and your business and all your projects? And, up until recently, I didn't really have a good answer. I was just kind of doing things from notebooks, and, I had written like lists of things I needed to do for different projects, but they were all in different sheets, and it wasn't in a really good space. And it was hard for me to really get things done and be focused while I worked. And that was hindering my success as an entrepreneur. And it started to affect the way that I was sharing myself, sharing my business, sharing my vision, and sharing the things I was truly passionate about. So I wanted to share with you guys the things that I've actually started to use to be able to stay on track, to be able to be organized as an entrepreneur, and to be able to have success in the things that I want to accomplish. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and then that way you'll be able to see. Okay. I'm just going to click out of here. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is actually the fact that I have tried 1,000 different things, and I have, used different methods that have really worked and things that haven't. And then, I did the whole Google different things that work well for others, and a lot of the things I found either didn't exist anymore or worked really well for Mac users and not for PC, or, would work really well for PC but not for Mac, stuff like that. And I never really knew from those Googles what would work best for me. So I actually decided to do kind of just a search on my own, and to kind of do a trial and error to find what would work for me. So I have a PC, I have a Windows 8.1, and these programs I know also work for Windows 10, and I'm not sure actually if these ones work for Mac or not, but you'll have to do a little bit looking for yourself. There might be programs equivalent to, and if I come across them, I'll share into the notes into this YouTube video as well. So this is one of the first ones that I absolutely have fallen in love with it, because first of all, it's increasingly it's very simple to use, and it's actually increased my productivity because it's allowed me to really like brain dump. I'm such a passionate person, and I have all these different things and visions and ideas that I like to write down. And I was using a notebook, but when I use a notebook, you lose the page that you were originally writing on, or you ran out of room. Like, sometimes what I would do is I would clearly tab off a section for one idea so I could always brain dump in the same spot. But then what happens when you run out of pages, right? It becomes a problem. And then I tried binders, but then I would rip the pages out, and it just didn't work for me, you guys. And I think a part of it was it just overwhelmed me to have all these loose pages everywhere, and to, have different things in different books in different places. So this is one of the apps that I just downloaded off of the Windows Store, and it was free, and it's called ColorNote. And now the cool thing is it like kind of resembles sticky notes, and you can make text sticky notes or checklist sticky notes, which I love. Okay, and you can actually color code them. So that's also been super, super cool, because I love color coding things. So what I've done is I've actually just wrote out different things that I've been working on, like just like simple things like video ideas, like what am I going to live video about on my Facebook. And these are just things like not ones that I've already done, or like I'm going to do this tomorrow or today, but things that pop into my mind that I get passionate about or excited about, or I think that have helped guide me in my life, or things that, I need to work more on. So I've kind of brain dumped there, and then that's where I started. So you can click on it, and then you can keep adding. And then I started actually creating a theme for each day of the week. So I knew what videos to be doing, so that way it becomes a theme. And then just like, just like any person would do, you have like little notes here and there. Like this one has nothing to do with with what I'm doing on Facebook, but it actually does have to do with my team. So just little things here, so that way I remember to follow up. So I like to do that. And then, and just making sure that like I have, I want to write a book. So I started a book thing here. So that way I could really write out my steps and where I want to start off. So that way when I start writing, I have something to go off of. Or when I start wanting to develop things, I have my original thoughts written down. And then I just have different things that I want to work on, things I'm wanting to develop. So it's all here, which is really, really handy and I absolutely love. So those are my notes, which now, here's some more things I want to share with you. So you can actually make checklists. And for some reason, I'm not seeing it at the moment. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is one of the checklists. This one probably seems kind of funny, but it says, put good vibes to the world. And then my one, every single day, I actively do this, you guys. I go out of my way to do something kind for Tyson, not just like let it happen, but actively do something, because I believe that when we put good vibes out to the world and when we do things for people and actively be kind to them, you're putting that, I guess, like that standard into your relationship. So I do that every day for Tyson. He has no idea I do it. So, and he doesn't go on social media, so he has no idea. So that's kind of funny. And I also, every single day I do something kind for a stranger, whether that's, letting someone merge in front of me or holding the door open for someone, just some kind of like action, some kind of act of service to someone else. And then do something nice for someone. Oh, sorry, I messed those up. To be kind to someone, I do that verbally, and then do something is like the act of service, and then give advice based on my failures. So every single day I like to share something that I've learned from my own failures, because I think it's important for people to see that, we all do fail forward at times, and it's okay to have, 10, 20 failures before you see success in one area of your life. And by teaching and giving, the experiences to others, maybe someone can grow in a different direction, or they can skip that failure themselves. I just think that's a really important part of life, and just sharing with the world. So I actually it's not always my business things that I put in here. Sometimes it's just like things that I believe in. So that's one of the apps I use. And then I also use this one. So it's called Wunderlist. And it's kind of funny because I have Wunderlist on my phone, and I have all my lists and checklists on my phone. But what was happening, I am like a bird with silver objects. I would go on my phone to check off my daily list. And then what would happen was that I would get super sidetracked, you guys. Like, all of a sudden, I'd be like, oh, let's check Facebook. I see that there's some notifications. And before I knew it, I was scrolling Facebook for an hour. So that's not work for me. My phone is distracting to me, and it's not the best place for work for me. I use my phone for certain aspects of my work, but that is purposeful time when I pull it out and I work on it. So when I was first looking, I didn't even think about the fact that Wunderlist might exist for my computer. So I was looking for other to-do list programs, and they just weren't jiving with the way I thought. So I finally decided to Google Wunderlist, and it popped up. And the coolest part is I signed in with the same email, and all of the checklists that I use on my phone are on here as well. So I can actually be checking them off on my phone and computer at the same time, and they'll show up in both. So that's really cool. So this is what I use. And basically what I did is you can actually make so I had a groceries one. I'll delete it right now. I have a life one. There's nothing in there. But work, and then I broke down into my different checklists. And then when you click on them, it breaks it down into your mini ones. So you can see, oh, I actually did finish all of today's. So you can see then my today's checklists are all done. So that's really cool. And then I can go into my power hour, and I can, check these things off. So I did this already today. I did this today, and I did this today. And I still have 2 more left to do, and I still have 3 more things left to do in my daily work schedule. So that's really cool. So this is my favorite to-do list checklist, and it helps me to track where I'm at and where I'm at with my business in the sense of my daily behaviors. So when you ask me for my tracker, this is what my tracker is. I break it down into my routine. So this is what I would consider my life routine to be. So get up at 6:30 a.m., which actually now is going to be changing to 5:30 a.m. I'm working my way back up to the morning routine I have when I teach. So that will be starting here soon. And then I turn on my essential oils. I've rated one chapter for my personal development. I check in with my groups. I post in my coach pages. So I have a schedule of what I post in each week. I'll show you that as well. And then I work out, I shower, and then I do the rest of my power hour. So this is like my morning routine. I actually should change that to say morning routine. That's what it is. Okay, so that's my morning routine. And then I go into my power hour. So this is kind of, I don't do my power hour all at once. My power hour kind of happens throughout the day. So I genuinely message 10 people that I believe have inspired me, that have made my life a little bit more fun, happy, whatever it might be, and I let them know, because I think that's really important to let people know when they've made a positive impact. I go live about whatever is on my mind, and I already showed you that in my notes. And then I post about my fitness, I post about something in my day, I post about my coaching perspective, so something to do with my team, my experience as a coach, whatever it might be, whatever's on my mind that day. I don't post anything that's forced, I only post things that are on my mind and genuine. And I also then post about my challenge group once a day, whether it's inviting, I only do that 3 times a week, and then the other days I like to just make mention to the girls, shout someone out, just share something from it. And then I check in with my team. So I like to post in, I post in one of my team pages, and I just make sure that I'm really present. And then every day I try to message one of my coaches that has been, either on my radar, someone that has messaged me, someone that needs a follow-up. I kind of have a list. And I don't do this in any purposeful way right now. I have found when I was doing it, so I was checking with everyone all the time, it became overwhelming for them. So now I just try to, watch, the way they're posting, or watch Survive in the groups and see kind of where people might need support, or where they might need recognition, or just to chat and see how they're doing. And then I do a post, oops, sorry, I already did that one. And then I'm on the market council for the Saskatchewan Beachbody Council. So I do all the planning of events for our region. And so I make sure I check in with that group every day, so that way I am on top of my tasks in there, my responsibilities. I add 20 people on Facebook. That probably seems kind of crazy, but I add 20 people, and that's not with the intent to sell to them. Honestly, it's the intent to build a broader network, to learn and to impact one another in a positive way, whether that means that we connect with our fitness, or they impact me, or they, maybe they are going to offer me something. I don't know. But every day I try to surround myself with 20 new people that can positively impact me. And then I do 200 people on Instagram, because I think that's another cool way of being able to surround yourself with positivity. And I love, love, love being able to have a broader network on there as well. And then I listen to a podcast for at least 10 minutes every single day. So that's kind of like my base power hour. Now, you're probably wondering, like, when do I do my other business stuff? Now, that's what I've kind of broken into here. So, I have weekly reminders that I need to do. So I have it broken down into which day it needs to be done. So those are in there. And then I have the things that I need to do in my personally sponsored, which this is all changing actually. Sorry, just my personally sponsored one is. And then I have just my different things for each week that I need to remind my team about. And that's my tracker system. So that's what I do for that. Okay, now I'm going to show you something super cool that I have just fallen in love with. Project timeline. So I was kind of I had a loss of organization when it came to all my ideas, projects, and dreams. And, I had all these different things I wanted to do as an entrepreneur, but I didn't know how to, slowly implement them and make sure that I was on track. So I downloaded this program, and I did the free one at first, and it allows you to have 3 projects, but I'm just such an ambitious person, you guys. I have so many things I want to accomplish in my life. 3 just wasn't enough. So I actually purchased it for like $1.49 Canadian, and got the full version, so I can just make as many projects as my heart desires. So basically what happens is you can create projects. So these are the different projects I have on the go. So I currently have 6 projects on the go. And then when you go into them, it lets you create tasks for them. So when I click here, it actually shows kind of a bigger version of it. So right now, today we're on Friday, the 26th. So we can actually see, like, for example, right now I'm currently in the creating the BU project. I'm currently in amidst the task of working on the content that's going to go into my program. And you can see that in my new brand that I'm creating for my business, my new this is kind of like where my heart is. And so I have these tasks on the go, and it kind of breaks it down so you can see all the tasks that are currently on the go. And then if I was to scroll over, if it won't let me here. Anyways, if you scroll over, you'll see the other ones as they pop up, because what I've done is I've actually gone ahead and I have planned out, like, by what day I need to actually start doing different tasks to make my dream come true, my dream projects. So in 65 days, I'll start to buy music for my podcast. In in 65 days, I'm going to start to buy the equipment I need, because before I even do any of those things, I need to know what it's about. I need to build my foundation. So it's super important to me to make sure that I have all these tasks. And this is how has helped me the most. It's helped me to really outline what my projects are and what they look like. So we can see, well, let me open it. Let's see here. Okay, so if I was to click on this one here, it actually lets me see all of my tasks. So I can see in the creating the BU free project that I'm going to be, it's going to be a program that I'm going to be putting out there for free for anybody online to access. So you can see that there's different things. So, right now I'm currently working on this. In 25 days, I'm going to be working on this. And so there's just all these different things that I'm working on. So that allows me to really be able to be present in what I'm working on at each time. So again, if I was to do this one, you would see I have 3 tasks I'm working on for that one. If you were to look at, let's see. If you were to look at this one, this is my podcast stream. You can see that I have a lot more things that are, currently on the go and things that are coming up. So this app has been literally the biggest game changer ever for me, because it's just absolutely forced me to actually write out the things I need to accomplish to make my dream life come true. So yes, I am with Beachbody. I am a Beachbody coach, and I believe to my core that fitness and health are absolutely the root of everything in your life. So in order to, have happiness and success and health and things, you need to be able to, and have good relationships. You need to be healthy physically, emotionally, and mentally. And for me, I do the fitness challenge group. I actually do a fit community. So I don't do a monthly challenge group, but I do an ongoing fit community for women. And that is like a huge part of my heart. But I also realized that it was super, super important to have the emotional and mental side of our health being addressed too, because I think that they all go hand in hand. You can't have one without the others. And when one is, low, the others get brought down with it. So they all need to be balanced. So it's important to me as an entrepreneur and as someone that truly believes in a healthy living that I offer all of these things, because that's who I am and that's my belief. And I believe to the core of me that every single person is, beautiful on the inside and out. They deserve to be truly themselves. They shouldn't have to hide any part of them, and they should just be able to be them unapologetically and just earn their happy that way. So for me, I always knew that I wanted to write a book, and I always knew I wanted to have my own podcast, but I had no idea how that would fit into my life as a coach. And I had no idea how to bring in my beliefs of emotional and mental health and physical health all being hand in hand into my Fit Believers group, because the people that come into the Fit Believers group, they're there for physical fitness, and it's not my place to put my beliefs of health onto other people. They need to want those things and those aspects of health in order to live a healthy life. They need to want it and be ready for it. So I didn't want to take those other parts of health and, you know, bombard the people in there with that. So I wanted to create another place for my fit believers and other people to go and really to find themselves and start working towards their emotional and mental health. And yes, we do talk about it quite a bit in my fit believers group, and you know, I bring it up and I celebrate it with them, but I don't teach it in there. So what I realized was there was a gap in my business and my belief in my philosophy. So I knew in my heart I needed to create another project that people could download or be a part of and work their way through, that would be free. So I have been working and creating on a BU project to help people find, you know, their foundation of who they are so they can really believe in themselves. So I knew that if I was going to do that, I needed to have a place that I could really write out the steps in order to have success. Because when you start thinking about creating a program that's online for people to access, that can be super overwhelming. But when you start to break it down into little stepping stones that you can absolutely succeed at, it's so obtainable, you guys. And when I realized that I could do that, I knew that there's absolutely nothing stopping me from having my own podcast or writing a book. If it's a goal or a dream, I should be doing those things, right? If that's what's going to fulfill me, that's what I should be pursuing. So I knew that I needed to start that. I needed to start it today. So I made those as well and wrote out those tasks too, so I could get going. So this has been absolutely a game changer for me. So I would say, that, you know, the combination of having a to-do list, having a place to brainstorm, and having a really clear step-by-step stepping stone task list of the things that you need to do in order to create your dream life is super important. Those things all need to go together. So if you have a tracker or a calendar or, you know, a notebook that you're trying to do everything in, that's awesome. If it's working for you, go with it. But you need to find the system that truly will empower you to really chase after your goals and dreams and be laser focused on the things that you can accomplish. Because I promise you, you are capable of so much more than you think you can. But often we spend so much time just doing busy work and we feel overwhelmed and we put all these hours in and it's not focused work. We're not using our time smart. And that was me for the longest time, you guys. But by doing this, I can now, instead of taking 4 hours to get my Beachbody stuff done, I can do it in 45 minutes. That's a huge difference. That's a huge difference in the way I use my time. It's much more purposeful, and it is way easier for me to be more present with my family, with my own hobbies, with my dream goals, and to be there really for my coaches and for my challengers, and to make sure that I can, you know, really help them and make a difference. And it's made a huge difference in my stress levels. So absolutely take the time, go on your computer. If your computer has an app store, go in there, check these ones out. So there's Color Note, Wunderlist, and the project timeline. And if there's not, just start looking for ones that work for you. And if these ones don't work for you, look for something that does. Don't settle for something that works for someone else. Do something that works for you and, you know, go for it. Follow through with it. So anyways, that is what I do in a nutshell, even though that's really long because I like to talk. But I didn't want to leave anything out because I think it's really important to really see what others do to have success, because that's helped me find my success. So I'm going to leave it there and say have a great day and believe in yourself. Bye, guys.